It's an Arsenal trio injury boost. This has been a question directed to me on several occasions ever since these three missed out on the international break. On a live video, even yesterday when I was really analyzing the game of Belgium and England, most of you are in the comment section asking me, Rokani, please tell us what exactly the injuries are like for the club of Arsenal. And I was like, I have to really make research towards the game of Man City and really find out whether it's really as what we're gonna hate to be told. Some rumors have been making round all over social media that maybe one or two could return and one couldn't return, but it looks like it's gonna be a trio injury boost. They are working against the clock to see to it that they obviously get into that biggest game of Arsenal so far. If they beat Man City, they would have gone ahead to make what we call a very huge statement, and that is what we call a trophy lifting statement. Smash the like button close to 500 times. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name. You can as well call me Aradi, and we're here to bring you lots of things concerning Arsenal. This is the Arsenal News Show. I've already gone ahead to bring you a story of Man City players ahead of the Man City, ahead of this tie. Kyle Walker and John Stones are really doubtful, but Kevin De Bruyne has gone ahead to obviously make a huge return. He trained with the under-23s on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday he's expected to join the first training session of Man City players to see to it that they really prepare for the game of Man City. The Muslims, Ramadan Kareem, the Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living true God bless you abundantly. And this is the Arsenal News Show, and let's continue to subscribe, guys. You've already gone ahead to hit the milestone of 20,300 subscribers, and let's obviously get to this other milestone of obviously 20,400 subscribers, because we want to hit 21,000 subscribers as quickly as possible. Now today I've gotten a tweet coming in through from the Arsenal Academy. You know, it's really a source that is going to reveal us very many stories. It's known as the AFC Hey Academy. You know, so this guy is like a person who really is a fly on the wall. You can refer to him like that. He has gone ahead to reveal to us very many players that they are really training with the club of Arsenal. He was the first person to break the story of Julian Timber training with the first team of Arsenal, and Gabriel Jesus and very many others. And even in the match day, he tells us who was going to hit to travel with the squad of Arsenal. He has told us today that Bukayo, Saka, Gabriel, Martinelli, and Gabriel Magalhães are all in the race to be fit for the game of Man City on Sunday. It will be touch and go for all three of them. So if it's touch and go, that means it's really easy, and it's not going to be one of those hard things that these players are really going to experience to obviously make a return that is highly anticipated by the medical and physio side of Arsenal. Yesterday, when we are really bringing you the footage that happened at the Sobha Reality Training Center, they missed out on certain players, and none of the three was really into the frames that were released by the club of Arsenal. What does that mean? It means that maybe they don't want to break the big news, and they want to surprise Man City. I know why Arsenal is taking long to obviously reveal stories like these three are really going to be fit, because he knows, Mikel Arteta knows that that's the best way to distract the side of Man City, because if you really keep them in suspense, they'll train and really come up with systems, more than one, you know, on how they're going to play. They're going to play Arsenal without Gabriel Magalhães, Martinelli, and Saka. They'll also train and really come up with a formation that will find a way of really stopping Arsenal with having these three players. They'll train and know who is going to play an Arsenal without a Bukayo, Saka, or a Martinelli. So it's really very confusing that if at all you're having three players out and your opponent is planning on how to make them better, then he'll have to find himself in a better position to really train and really come up with different systems that can curb each player independently. So that is the hugest that has ever going to happen to the side of Pep Guardiola, because he needs to come out with a system that's going to come out and beat this. But the story is these three are really very, very close. Now, You know, this guy is always hidden. That his AFC Academia is always hidden. But there is an Arsenal correspondent for the Arsenal Football News that has gone ahead to come out and say, for me, I'm not hiding myself. You know me very well. I'm a close host to Arsenal. I'm really getting exactly these stories from the inside of the club, and my confidant is like telling me the following. And this is what Kaya Kanak had to first say about Gabriel Martinelli via the Football London. He said, rumors had suggested that Gabriel Martinelli could be out for the season due to his injury, but these are understood to be wide off the mark. Edu and Arsenal medical team were in close dialogue with the Brazilian national team before deciding to withdraw Gabriel from the Selecao squad for friendlies against England and Spain. So, everyone who was like, the season of Gabriel Martinelli had gone ahead to come to an end was lying. That's what Kaya Kanak told us. And you know that he's really an Arsenal correspondent for the Football London. So, he went ahead to replace Chris Whitley. So, when you look at Kaya Kanak, he's like giving you more and more and more hope that Gabriel Martinelli is going to be back. In the nick of time, you're going to see Gabriel Martinelli kick the ball for the club of Arsenal, and it might be the game of Man City. That's what he said, and that's why Edu and the Arsenal side were in complete connection with the Brazilian national team, like trying to tell them that, please, this player is supposed to be given some time to heal. That confirms that Gabriel Martinelli had already gone ahead to resume to train, because if he hadn't gone ahead to resume to train and the injury was really serious, then why would they have to really try to go into a dialogue that so to it that they came to a common ground that Gabriel Martinelli is not going to be featuring for this side of Brazil? And secondly, Brazil itself was training at Arsenal's training ground, that is the Sobha training center, I can call it the London Conley, and they faced Martinelli face to face, and they really got to know that he's not yet ready and he's going to be ready for the game of Man City. That is Kaya Kanak for the side of Arsenal. Then on Bukayo Saka, he said the following, that Saka meanwhile reported to England training with his muscle complaint and was initially made to train inside away from the rest of the group at St. George's Park, with the 22-year-old more or less guaranteed a spot in Gareth Southgate's squad for the summer's Euros in Germany. The decision was taken for him to return to Arsenal as a precaution. So he's explaining to us what led to Saka to be really thrown out of the England national team, and I have already gone ahead to explain that. But he insists onto it being a precaution, that they never wanted that muscle complaint obviously surge for the side of Bukayo Saka. So it looks like all these players are really in contention to play against Man City. Whether all of them are going to start, I cannot confirm. Whether all these three are really going to be part of the Arsenal side, I cannot confirm. But what is positive about this is that even Kaya Kanak has gone ahead to join the AFC Academy and said there is hope that Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Magalhães and Bukayo Saka can be involved for the trip to City. So that is the hugest story that you'll ever want to get this evening, that these three are really positive to take their fitness to the next level, to see to it that they obviously play part into the game of Man City. And what is the importance of these three? I've gone ahead to explain. Gabriel Magalhães, defensively, he's one of the best defenders in the Premier League right now. And I tell you, for this season, I can agree, he has really gone ahead to play a better part than Saliba. Gabriel Magalhães has been unreal. In games like these, you will need a player like Gabriel Magalhães good at set pieces, and Arsenal has gone ahead to utilize set pieces to really terrorize very many teams all over the world. And guess which team has been terrorized by Arsenal? Very many. And they've gone ahead to score 19 set pieces, and no team edges them in the Premier League. And you never know, he might be the reason as to why Arsenal clocks 20 set piece goals this season, and you need him. So defensively, he's solid. He obviously matched the physicality of Erling Haaland and the pace. And then lastly, we've gonna hate to see him on several occasions being responsible for that ball over the top on like 3-4 occasions, leading to a goal. Most memorably is that over the top ball he does that saw Martinelli take on Virgil van Dijk, and he really went ahead to score the second goal as Arsenal beat Liverpool by 3-1 at the Emirates Stadium. I think you remember that like yesterday. Then we talk about Bukayo Saka, Arsenal's top scorer in the Premier League, 13 goals and 10 assists. Though in the games they've gonna hit to play against Man City, Saka has always been silent, and the first one they played this season he was out. You cannot really talk about the best players at Arsenal and not talk about Saka. And by the people misquote me when I talk about best players and influential players. You can be a best player, but you must lack some bits of influence in there for you. And there might be a hierarchy of players that are really ahead of you. But he's one of Arsenal's best players for the previous 3-4 seasons. Saka has been. Like him or without him, he has been one of Arsenal's best players in those previous years. And when you're going to play your most important game in the season away from home, you'll need to have your gun loaded with all the bullets that you need, you know. So Saka is one of those bullets that Arteta has shown us this season that he's always in his chamber first, you know, and there is no way Arteta would like to go in this game without Bukayo Saka. He would obviously want to have Bukayo Saka with him in this beautiful encounter and see how Saka is really gonna thrive and really take it on to the levels that everybody wants him to be really doing his stuff at. So that is Bukayo Saka for you, and you all know that he can pull out a moment of magic, and he best represents the style of Mikel Arteta onto the right attacking side of the midfield, and him being the only left-footed player that Arteta has. There is no way you would tell me that Arteta would love to go into this game of football without having Bukayo Saka in his starting 11, moreover, not even on the bench, but in his starting 11. So, for Saka, that's the reason. For Gabriel Martinelli, the pace merchant. He's one of those players I've got to really realize that whenever Arsenal is really playing big teams, he raises up to the occasion. That is Gabriel Martinelli, and even when Arsenal beat Man City at the Emirates, he's the man responsible for obviously getting into the ball at the back of the net. That is Gabriel Martinelli. So you have every reason to play this lad because you know how good he is and how influential he is. And with Kyle Walker being doubtful or being 50-50 to get into playing this game between Arsenal and Man City, you understand that even if he comes in through and comes off the bench, that is Martinelli, you really understand that he's gonna really be one of those players to really get going into that team. And even if Kyle Walker is back, you are 100% assured that he's not 100% fit. He will be missing some levels of fitness. That's why Martinelli might really have a very good go at him, you know. So those are the three players and their importance to come in through and feature in a game of this magnitude, and why they're hugely needed at the side of Arsenal as they take on Man City. So the big news is that these three are expected to be part of the City game, and that is a triple injury burst. I know we are really gonna get more and more stories tomorrow, you know, Friday and Saturday, and I think the more realistic story will be gotten on Friday in the pre-match press conference. Then on Saturday, I anticipate that the fly on the wall will obviously tell us the traveling squad of Arsenal to the side of Man City, and then we'll know how far that is going to happen, because I know they're going to travel on Saturday, spend a night or sleep over in Manchester, then they'll get themselves into the Etihad Stadium the following day. But that's the good news I've gonna hate to bring to you people who support Arsenal, and I'm waiting to see what your thoughts are really gonna be about this. So your thoughts onto Martinelli, Gabriel Magalhães, and Saka expected to be fit for the game of Man City are welcome in the comment section below. Remember, I had already brought you a story about Saka that is expected to be fit, and now even the other two are really expected to be fit for this encounter. May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. and Ramadan Kareem. See you in our next video coming in through 2 hours from now. We are going to be talking transfers, because there is a story that was going to hit to be making rounds for the previous 2-3 days about Diomande, and even Fabrizio Romano has finally gone ahead to have his say onto this transfer story. Not so? I'm out. Ciao, ciao.